Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride Dee. We're the authors of the book Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. And we are welcoming you to the Jolley Marriage Show. So glad you're here with us tonight. Our guest tonight is a nationally renowned author and
America's nutritionist.
America's number one nutritionist, Dr. Rowe. You've seen her on television, all over television. She had a new radio show that is very popular, the Dr. Rowe Morning Show. And so she's the author of numerous books.
Well, she can tell you about her morning show too.
Yeah, she'll tell you about the morning show. She'll talk. She is an award-winning health journalist and television personality and radio now, known for her easy-to-apply diet, fitness, and health tips for people of all ages. A leading nutritional coach for more than 2 decades, 3 now, that she was named one of More Magazine's top 5 nutritionists in the country. And she has a PhD in nutritional sciences from Howard University and is author of Dr. Rowe's 10 Secrets for Healthy Living. She is an incredible friend.
What is this one?
This is How to Lose Your Final 15. It's another bestseller. And she now lives in Virginia. And here's the
country.
And here's the interesting thing. We've been friends since we were 15 years old. We went to high school together and we're best buds in high school and have been friends all through this. So we're just glad that she could make it on her schedule because she's in and out the country. She's always going somewhere. Welcome, Dr. Rowe. Dr. Rowe, give her a round. Yay! All right, go ahead, Dr. Rowe. Good to have you.
Pleasure. It is my pleasure to be with you tonight. And for everybody watching and listening, hello to you. I'm just grateful to be here.
Amen. Amen. Well, we're grateful to have you. Okay. We want to talk about a number of different items because it's such a joy to have you. And we want to talk about a couple of different perspectives with you. One perspective is that everybody should know about our book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, and who wrote the foreword for our book, but the one and only Dr. Rowe. Foreword by Dr. Rowe. Okay, y'all can all see that. Foreword by Dr. Rowe. And she wrote that foreword, and we're grateful for that. Let's start with how you were even able to write a foreword on a marriage book is because you were married for 22 years.
22 beautiful years. Yes.
22 beautiful years. And I actually sang at your wedding in Anguilla, I believe it was.
Anguilla, yeah.
And you were married to a gentleman named Dr. Riggins. Dr.
Murray Riggins.
Murray Riggins. And
at home, Riggalicious or the Riggalator.
We all called him Riggy, and he was
an emergency room physician.
And
emergency. He was an ER physician, and then he opened a medical aesthetic practice. And before he did ER medicine for over 25 years, he also did family practice. So he went from family practice to ER medicine, and then from that he got to cruise a little bit doing medical aesthetics.
All right. Now he went on to be with the Lord, though. 2 years ago.
It will be. It's 2.5 years now.
Okay, it'll be 3 years in spring,
summer. Mm-hmm.
Summer. So anyway, but we want to talk about how your marriage, you said when I talked to you offline earlier, said we're going to talk a little bit about your marriage. You were married for 22 years. You specifically said, oh, stop. I was happily married.
There's a difference. There's a difference in being married and being happily married, and I had to learn this and had to learn to express it in conversation with other people because I was at a party one night and this guy, I'm dancing with this guy and he said, so Dr. Rowe, what kind of man you like? And I looked at his finger and I said, a single one. Because there was a band of gold on his finger, but and then I was somewhere in a grocery store and this old gentleman rolled up on me, and I say old gentleman because he could have been my grandfather, really. and he rolled up on me and hit on me. Like, we're standing at the seafood counter, and he said, "Where is he?" And I said, "Oh, the guy, he went to get something. He's coming back." He said, "I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about where's that fool to let you out here running around by yourself, all loose by yourself?" And I'm thinking to myself, "Sir, I am married." And and another one said, "Well, I'm married." Another time a guy said, "Well, I'm married too." I said, "Well, the difference is I am happily married."
Amen. Okay? Amen. So
I want to be where I am and with whom I am. I want to be there.
Real quick, what were some of the secrets to y'all's success? I will tell you one that we know: humor. Folk, we've written about it. We wrote about it in the book, how important it is to have humor in your relationship. Murray Riggins was one of the most humorous, funny gentlemen I have ever met. Easygoing. Because Ro is a star. She's a diva. She's on, she out in front. Let's call it like it is. But he happy to be in the background. And that was, and one of the things I think with Dee and I like being out in the front, but she's happy being in the back. And lady asked us recently, about speaking at a church together. She said, "Don't you do that?" She said, "Oh, I don't do that. He does that. I keep the money." So
look, and she's serious too. She's serious.
Okay, that's one of the points. But what are some of the other points that before we get into the nutritionist part?
No, before I give you some of the points that that really were the glue that kept us together and happily together. Before I get to that, I will put it this way. One of the ways in which I could get there was because the woman that you're sitting next to tutored me. Loved on me, but taught me how to be a wife. Literally taught me. And I don't even know that she knew she was doing it at the time, but she did. She taught me how to be a wife. She would come. Sometimes it would be Wednesday nights. And on Wednesday nights, she would come by the house. She's been working out, doing some boxing class or whatever. She would stop by the house on the way back home. And, we would have these what I thought was impromptu conversations, but they were really intentional conversations. And I was being prepared for this man that would come a few years later to become his wife. She was preparing me for that. God was preparing us for that.
Amen.
So I have to say, I tell anybody and everybody who will listen, Dee Jolley taught me how to be a wife. Because people they talked about our love. They talk, "Oh, we want what you have. That's what I want. That's what I want." And so they talked about our love and they talked about our relationship, but one of the things that they didn't know was I had a secret weapon. Dee Jolley.
Amen.
Yeah. You.
Yes. She taught me things like softening the blow, So, don't just come out of your mouth with be careful or be intentional about how you use your words and even the tone of your speech to your partner.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Be very intentional about that. And you will discover that you will find your own love language. As a couple, you will find your own love language. But you have to speak to each other with love, kindness, and respect.
Yes, that's right. Love, kindness, and
respect.
Right.
And respect.
Yeah.
I had to respect him. He respected me. There's a lot of give and take in marriages, I will say, right? And sometimes I wasn't about, I wasn't about that life. When I was new to it, I really wasn't about that life. But I learned that there's a lot of give and take, and Dee helped me to do that.
But you wanted to learn.
I did.
You were an easy teacher. and he was
He's
pliable.
easy student.
An easy student. I'm sorry. And he was I think, an easy person to love because he was disarming with his humor and his easygoing nature.
Yes.
And it's so obvious that he loved you because you are a lot.
Thank you.
That's what I say. But anyway, so that's good. Okay, but y'all were 22 years.
22 beautiful years. And those years were built on, there was a certain like-mindedness, like you know what I mean?
Yes.
Even when the things that we disagreed, you can disagree without being disagreeable.
Yes. Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
you can disagree, and you can still do it in a way that you soften the blow as you drop the bomb.
Yes,
that's right. That's right.
But the other thing too is, I recognize that at some point in our relationship, I recognize that I have some skills, I have some skill sets, you've got some skill sets. I'm going to rely on yours, and you rely on mine.
Yes. Right?
I'm not going to try to be all things to everybody. Right?
Smart.
You're great at this. And he was really super smart. The man was highly intelligent. So he knew, like, hey, you're great at this. You do this for us.
Yes.
For us.
I'll do this for us.
Yes.
And the whole thing is the talking. You have to have meaningful conversations.
Oh, that's a big one, folks. I hope y'all getting this one.
You have to have meaningful conversations. And when I say meaningful, I mean make it conversations. Be real about what it is that you wish to communicate. But do it. Don't go off and make decisions on your own that are going to affect both of you. Talk about those things first. As
Gladys Pemberton says, when she and Ron got married, and we wrote it in the book, go from a me mindset to a we mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. Olympia Borley said, you must be teachable. Absolutely. Must be teachable. Yes. And that's one of the keys to learning how to be a better spouse, a better partner. So absolutely.
Yeah. And you have to want a partnership too. Because some people think it is about me, right?
Right.
You have to want a partnership, but I can tell you that once you get one and you solidify it, there's nothing more beautiful.
Absolutely. Well, we applaud.
We got to transition.
All right, but we just want to thank you for the forward in the book and how you mentioned that Dee had such an impact on your marriage and on your being a good wife. And we want to encourage people to take the lessons of what she just shared about being teachable, about listening, about having mentors. Even though she didn't say that, having mentors of people who were happily married, not people who got drama, people who are happily married. And then be intentional about your words. Be careful. Think about them before you say them, because
you need to mull them over.
That's right.
Before they come out of your mouth.
That's right.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
All right. So Dr. Rowe is, a great nutritionist.
America's #1 nutritionist.
And she knows how food. She has a new television project, which I'll leave unnamed for, but I'm telling you, it's fantastic. You're going to see her on television about food and life, though, about nutrition and life. So let's just talk about how food can impact relationships, because people get what they call hungry and angry. Hangry.
Hangry. Yes. And I coach women and families through the burden of emotional eating, and I can tell you, I have witnessed a lot of hangriness.
I'll say it for a moment, because you almost coined that term, emotional eating. You eat your feelings, is what I believe you say.
Eating your feelings, yes. Emotional eating is when you find yourself overeating high fat, high sugar, high sodium foods to soothe what you're feling. So we call it eating your feelings. And as I coach women and families through this process, I'm more concerned with what's eating them before we even talk about what they're eating.
Wow. Okay. So, and that can have an impact on your relationship. And it goes, but men and women, but you see people who have a problem in their relationship because they didn't talk or they didn't have open and honest communication. They are holding stuff in, and then they respond to this feeling by eating.
Yes. So you find yourself at the bottom of a pint or gallon of ice cream because you have eaten your way through, you think, the feelings that you're experiencing. But it's much more important to unpack those feelings, and let's go back to where they come from, like what's their origin, because these are feelings that are deep-seated, okay, and they've been there for a very long time. At some point, your emotional development has gotten off track. It has been derailed. You've been derailed. So there is an event or a series of events. And if you just go back and think, that's why it's so important to journal through your life. I tell you, you can teach yourself about yourself, all the things that you need to know, because the truth is, you know why. You just haven't admitted it, or you haven't owned up to it, or it hasn't been fixed. I mean, you haven't had therapy for it. You haven't had the help that you needed to get through whatever it is that derailed your emotional development. There are a series of events throughout life that probably got you to the place where you are at the bottom of that ice cream.
Wow.
You see? And ice cream becomes an addiction. Sugar, salt, and fat, right?
Those are the three. That's the trifecta. That's the trifecta that's taking us out. That is the trifecta that's taking us down. That and all of these dastardly industrial ingredients that they're putting in foods, highly processed foods, snack foods, breakfast foods like cereals, and we're slowly killing ourselves and our children. So I'm on the bandwagon about that one. That's a whole other show.
Okay, so children, school age, they get cereal for breakfast. What's wrong with the cereal?
No, we're talking about relationships. Don't get the children.
So we'll have you back. I'll come back and talk to you about it.
That take us down a rabbit hole. I want to talk about relationships and how to help people who know there's a problem and know they need help.
Yes.
And they're eating their feelings and
so where do they start?
Rather than talking about them and
so as we're on the Jolley Marriage Show, let me put it in this way. If you're a couple and one of you wants to lose weight, both of you need to lose weight, but one of you is not admitting it. But so one of you decides to lose weight and loses the weight for all the right reasons. But now you are salty because you feel like your partner, your spouse is getting a little bit too much attention. And so now you want you don't want her to get this attention after this weight that she's lost. So now you're mad when in fact you should be losing weight with her.
Amen.
But that is it's a common way. It's a very common way that food affects your relationship. It's a very common way in which food affects your relationship. If you two aren't, again, on the same page, now there's breakdown. And so what are we going to do?
Right.
Come to me and we're going to work it out.
Well, that's an interesting point. I've heard over the years, we take the mailbag, people send us letters. And over the years, we've had a couple, and we've been doing this now 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know how long, but whatever amount of time we've been doing it, we've had a couple letters from people who say, the wife might say, I lost weight. I went to the gym. I started eating differently. The husband still sitting on the couch eating potato chips. Then she's getting her life healthy. He's not. And then there becomes this dissonance.
So they're counseling.
Yeah.
But there's some dissonance there that needs to be resolved.
Yes.
And
so how do you start with a
needs
resolution?
To be addressed. That's the right word I should say.
It needs to be addressed. Yes. Yeah, and you need to course correct because the person who is dissatisfied with, he thinks his spouse, he's really dissatisfied with himself, but he's placing the blame in her lap. See, she's the one who's getting results. He hasn't made up his mind that he's even going to try to get results. He's not getting results. He's not even taking any action. And that's a decision too. See, right. So you've made a decision whether you intended to or not. But she made a definitive decision to take the steps to lose weight so that she could get healthy for her health. Now, if you're upset because she's turning more heads because of this, first of all, that's a very surface, way to handle things, because you should be more concerned with the fact that, hey, my wife is getting healthy. I want her to be around for me. And I perhaps need to do the same thing so that I can be around for her.
He should be proud of her.
Yes, you should be proud of her. He should be her cheerleader.
Look, show them moms. Come on, show them moms. There you go. Oh, see?
Got your tickets to the gun show? Yes.
So, but I'm proud of her. She gets up every morning, 5 a.m. She's going to the gym every day, no matter whether it's hot, cold, what the weather is. Every morning, whether she slept 2 hours, 3 hours, she's going to the gym. And so I'm proud of her. And then I'm motivated to do it because I don't want her to leave me and turn me in for a younger model.
I'm not.
You're not going to leave me. Well, I'm
taking you with me.
Yeah, if you leave me, I'm coming with you. There you go. So okay, that's one thing. The other thing we've heard of is an extension of that, which is one spouse decided to get physically fit, the other one didn't, and then there was the dissonance in some jealousy things, but there was also what you already touched on, that one of them is getting attention, and that brings problems.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about food. Jack Spratt could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. But between the two of them, they clean the platter clean. All right, they lick the platter clean. What happens when you got one person who is not an eater? Not a
who
big eater.
Eats differently.
You're a finicky eater, a picky eater.
Well, different. She's really leaning against me because she is vegan. She's a vegan, and I am not. And I just got off a vegan fast.
We had a 21-day Daniel fast.
From our church.
Church Baptist Church of Glen Arden, by the way. She's a member as well. And we say shout out to all of the FBCG members in Washington and Maryland, online. But anyway, we went a 21-day fast.
It was wonderful.
And I was a vegan.
No meat, no seafood, all beans and
lentils.
I ate
soy.
Beans.
It was so wonderful.
So
there was no grease on the stove.
All right. So for 21 days, I've been vegan, but the day was a new day.
You're eating differently. So now, does that mean are there 2 dinners? Because she doesn't cook a lot.
No, right? That's correct.
Yeah, her cooking is in a blender. Her cooking is mostly in a blender.
Yeah, it used to be a lot of cooking, but now there ain't no much cooking. When the baby went to college, the kitchen shut down. All right.
So she's vegan. You're not.
Yeah.
But you can still have meals together. You just add your meat, fish, or chicken to whatever the vegetable or grains are. Right.
It's correct.
Yeah.
And we've worked through that. That's where I think the lesson is about the fact that I don't try and make her eat my diet. And she doesn't complain unless I don't eat pork or beef anymore. But she doesn't look at my food and talk about it often. Okay. Every now and then she'll say, but not often. And
when she does, she's doing it out of love.
Yeah. So
sometimes he might hide something and I will see
something sweet, something sweet. Yeah.
The wrapper. So how do people deal with nutritional differences or dietary differences?
Or
I think dietary differences are easier to work with than philosophical differences about food, right? Or familial differences about food, like you grew up in a household who did it this way. She grew up in a household who did it that way. And so now, but you've got to meet in the middle at some point, right?
Right.
You've got to come together over this thing. But food can really impact your relationship in a way that, in negative ways. And I say negative ways because it is in ways that you're talking about. One person is eating, junk food, is overeating, high fat, high sugar, high sodium foods, everything that will make them ill in the long run. Everything that sets them up for chronic disease in the long run, because chronic disease is not familial. It's not about your family history. It is about your current habits.
In other words, people who say, sugar running my family, but really it's what they eating runs in the family. Okay.
Yeah, sugar don't run in your family.
Right.
Diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, these are all called lifestyle diseases. You know why? Because they happen as a result of the lifestyle that you lead. These are lifestyle diseases. So sugar does not run in your family. Uncle Toopy might have the sugar, but it's not because it has anything to do with you. You don't have to get type 2 diabetes because your Uncle Toopy did so, right?
Okay.
What you need to do is use that information. So one of the things that I teach people to do is do a family medical tree.
That's good. That's good.
Family medical tree, and study what were the deaths, what were the habits, what were the lifestyle habits, what were the eating habits. And you can do that when you look at the dash. You look at that birth date, that dash in the middle, and you look at the death date. It's a lot of information, believe it or not. And I showed the reader how to do a family medical tree in my first book, which is called 10 Secrets to Living Healthy. And I believe we're going to make the family medical tree available on my website so that you can just go there and download it. Because
right now, stop. When somebody, because somebody might have to jump off. We're at the halfway. You would regularly be ending. So, where can they reach you? Where can their website? What's the name of the book? Where can they Lose Your Final 15?
Lose Your Final 15, I'm so proud to say, is now in paperback, and you get it on my website, everythingro.com. That's everythingro.com. You can follow me on social media from the website. You can learn how to become a partner for the Dr. Ro Morning Show with us. We are on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are there for you. AM, 7 a.m., 7 to 8 Eastern, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And we are there for you, giving you vital information. And I do mean vital information to help you save your life and the lives of your family.
One more question, where they can find the podcast. But you did a great interview with us on your show, and it's so profound. I think people would love to hear it.
The podcast is Dr. Ro On Demand. That's DR.RO On Demand. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Say the website again, because we want people to book you to come speak for their events.
Everythingro.com. That's everything, the word everythingro.com.
Everythingro.com. And you're available for speaking engagements, for consulting, and you have a coaching program too, I believe. Don't you tell me that?
It's called Get Dr. Ro.
All right, get that.
Nice.
Someone just asked me, how did you feel after your vegan detox? I feel great. Thank you for asking. I feel great, and I eat less. Today, I went back to eating my poultry and fish, and I could only eat a little bit. And I ate a little bit, and I was full. And so I feel great, and I've lost weight. And it's natural, and so boom, I'm feeling great. Okay. Anything else you want to ask Dr. Ro, Miss Beautiful?
You know what? Another thing. Let me just say this quickly. Another thing about having a happy marriage and a happy relationship is you must compliment each other always, right?
That helps to build the self-esteem.
Yes, you must and Willie does a great job of this. He compliments you 6 ways to Sunday. He tells you how beautiful you are every day. And I had that for 22 years too, right? So you must and the other thing is romance doesn't start in the bedroom. It doesn't start in the bed. Romance starts in the head.
Amen.
Come on now.
Romance doesn't start in the bed, it starts in the head. It happens in our head. If you wake up in the morning and you say, oh baby, you're so beautiful. I just love, and you do this all throughout the day. By the time you get home, bone chicka won won.
Cecily, Glow Graphics said this was such a blessing. I'm so glad I tuned in. God bless you both in my first year of marriage and learning so much from this program. This program is called More, Please. We will encourage you to watch the replays on the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. And please go to Jolley Marriage and get 2 books, not one, get 2 books, one for each of you. Get to Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Watch the TED Talk first at A Jolley Marriage or Jolley Marriage, and then get 2 copies of the book. And then go to Dr. Rowe. And go to everythingrow.com and get her Lose Your Final 15 as well as the other nutritional books. We want to help so many people, and so many people are joining in on all of the social media. We're grateful. Dr. Rowe, real quick, also, we want to talk about for a moment some of the things that you say in this book. I just want to touch on. There's so much information in this. One of the things I saw was
that title again. This one
is called "Lose Your Final 15," and she said, what you're up against, and you want an abundance of energy. If you want to have great love life, you got to have some energy. And then she talks about how you can start to plan your way into a new way of thinking, and then think your way into a new way of eating, and eat your way into a healthier life. Yeah. Isn't that true?
Yes. It absolutely is true. And the business of thinking your way into a new, healthier way of life, there's fat thinking and there's thin thinking.
Ooh, really? Ooh. Let's go. All right, go ahead.
There's fat thinking and there's thin thinking. Fat thinking is, okay, you were overweight, you lost the weight, but now you're still craving the same things that got you to be overweight, right? Or you don't cook your foods or prepare your foods differently. It's not that you can't have some of the same foods, but you have to use different ingredients. Maybe you have to have smaller portions, right? Because that's what helps us to gain weight, the oversized portions. So you can think like a larger person in a smaller body.
Wow.
So
if you sit at the table and I finish my meal and you ask me, but I have a little bit something left on my plate, and now you ask me, are you going to eat all of that? See, that's fat thinking. That's not thin thinking. Because now you want to turn yourself into a refuse. You see what I'm saying? You would turn your stomach into a garbage, pail, because you're going to take the leftovers from somebody else's plate. You've already eaten everything that you had on your plate, and now you're watching mine to get what I have left over. That's fat thinking. That's not thin thinking.
So how do you change that?
So then you have to decide, first of all, that you want to make a change. We have a lot of self-defeating thoughts swimming around in our heads at any given moment in the day, right? A lot of that. You have to decide that you want better. So yeah, you got to make the decision that, you know what, I have to have better. So in order for me to have better, I've got to do better, which means I've got to make different decisions.
Yes.
Wow.
I've got to make different decisions, right? I can't overeat. Maybe I should leave some of the food on my plate. Every time I have a meal, maybe I leave a little bit on the plate. You could save up to 500 calories that way if you eat 3 times a day.
Wow.
You can reduce the caloric intake by 500 calories by not having to do anything but just leave food on your plate.
But we've been conditioned since we're children. There's some child over in China who ain't eating the food. And,
my parents never said that.
Well, they didn't say
And I say to that, let's ditch the clean plate club and let's sign up for the lean plate club.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Yeah.
You've given some great tips tonight. I know that, and Miss Lynn said, Olympia, it's an excellent session. So many are chiming in all over the country and the world. Y'all know y'all can access this anytime, 24/7 on the Jolley Marriage Show on YouTube. And then we want to again encourage people to follow Dr. Ro, Dr. R.O. on all the social media and become part of her program. Again, where can they reach you for your book, Lose Your Final 15? Consulting or coaching. You got all sorts of programs. Where can they reach you?
Everythingro.com. Just hit contact and send me a note. You can call me. You can reach me at 434-214-0767. That's 434-214-0767. That's also the number to our morning show. So call in and join the conversation.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Remember Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 to 8 a.m.
All right. You're going to love it. And the podcast is on demand. You can hear our show, which was a great interview. She did a great job. And Dr. Rowe, we want to thank you for being our guest tonight. I want to thank you for writing the foreword for our book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Everybody should have a copy. If you don't have a copy, what are you waiting for? This is saved marriages. This is saved relationships. Get this book. All right. And then go to Jolley Marriage or A Jolley Marriage and get the TED Talk. It will bless you. Last but not least, it's still a couple weeks before
Valentine's Day.
We talked about doing a Saturday morning online event, but you got to send us an email and say, I'm interested in the online event on the day after Valentine's Day on enriching and enhancing my relationship. If you do that, we might go ahead and do it, but we want to have enough people say they're interested. All right. Dr. Rowe, thank you.
It has been my absolute joy. You know I love you both.
Well, we love you, and we're grateful all these years, and we still are best buddies and besties after almost, I won't even tell you how long, because we're
family. We ain't no buddies. We are family, okay?
We're family. But see y'all, everybody, have a great week. Remember to go to jollymarriage.com and get the books and the resources. Also, if you want to get the relationship repair series, then you go to jollymarriage.com/events, EVENTS. And if you're interested in the seminar the day after Valentine's Day, if you get enough people say, I want to do it, then we'll do it. info@williejolly.com. Just email us, info@williejolly.com. And you can also send your questions, your issues, your concerns, your troubles to that, and we'll try and address them on the show. All right, here we go. And hope y'all have a great week on purpose. On purpose. Here we go.
You.
God bless y'all.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.